Hi, welcome back. This is Hans Meeder with the National Center for College and Career Transitions. Today we're talking about the Mountain Home High School in Mountain Home, Arkansas, that has transformed itself into a group of career academies. And this is part two of our four-part series in which we're learning in depth about the planning and implementation process of the academy model. Today's session is part of a four-part series. Part one, we learned about the history of the school and the need for change in the process of going through the redesign around the Career Academy model. In today's session, we'll learn more about the ways in which the Career Academies at Mountain Home integrate with their community, with the employer community, as well as with other partners in the community. In part three, we will hear directly from students about their experience in the Career Academy program. And then in part four, we'll talk with teachers who are engaged directly in the work of teaching the courses that are part of the school's Career Academies. I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Ms. Brigitte Shipman, who is the Academy Coordinator of Mountain Home High School Academies. And she's played a vital role in the development of these academies, which includes the Keystone, Capstone Curriculum Development, the Academy Advisory Program, student-led conferences, and involvement with community partnerships. And in the first session, Dana Brown talked about the very close working relationship between her role as the principal and the role of Ms. Shipman as the Academy Coordinator. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Education and Elementary Education and a Master of Science degree. So I'll turn it over to you now, Bridget, and then at the end of the session, I'll ask a few more follow-up questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans. It's an honor to share our story with everyone, and also I'm excited to share the community pieces because that is the piece that I believe has helped us sustain for these past 14 years. We do have 3 academies. We are a wall-to-wall career academy, which means that every student in their freshman year of high school chooses one of these 3 academies at least for 1 year. The 3 academies that we have decided to structure career focus and learning styles around have contributed to what our community resources are to support our career academies. We have communications, arts, and business. We have architecture, construction, manufacturing, and engineering, and then our health and human services academy. And each one of these academies is unique, and I get to experience firsthand as I travel around while our common planning time is in session that Ms. Brown visited about part 1. And you can see the learning styles and you can see the career focus in action. And it's very exciting to be part of the Career Academy program at Mountain Home High School. I think passion for career focus and learning styles is what we try to facilitate and groom our students through this Career Academy reform as they enter their post-secondary lives. We also, as Ms. Brown had talked about in part 1 with our community support, you see this slide, and it has the community pieces that helped get our program not only to sustain, but in the beginning years when it was a reform and an implementation process. In our Career Academy program, we have a support system. Without the support system, while we have created this Career Academy model and also in our sustainability pieces, these support systems are huge. We have the national support that Ms. Brown discussed in part 1, which we get most of our data, and we also get the support in that they do invite us to come and share our story at the National Career Academy Coalition conferences. We, as of last year in 2013 at the fall conference, we were one of 2 schools that were featured at NCAC, and then we were allowed to present our story to the people that attend, which are from all over the nation. The other school that was invited was McGavock High School. So we were extremely honored to be one of 2 schools in our nation to share the story of how to implement a career academy and, more importantly, how to sustain one. The state support has been huge. They support us financially in the beginning, and then they have also supported us with their sustainability as schools in the state of Arkansas are trying to implement this Career Academy program. They send them to us, and we help the state, and the partnership is that these schools visit, we help implement, and we do charge a small fee to help us with our financial support from the state. We also have parental support, our Partners in Education, which the role that I play as Academy Coordinator is a community piece. So I am the liaison between the parent organization and our school district. They are wonderful and involved community members who their heart is to help the teachers, which in turn helps support the students. We are currently in development of a secondary parent center to help not only our parents with students enrolled at our school, but also our young parents to offer that support to them who may as well be a high school student. We also have the building leadership, and that is huge. Ms. Brown, as a building principal, has done a wonderful job with offering shared leadership, which is a critical piece to sustaining a career academy. And our district leadership, who has changed in the past, but the district leadership, it always comes in strong because we do involve them in the creative pieces of our Career Academy program, which I'll discuss a little bit later. And our community is what we are currently giving the accolades to. Without our community piece, it would be difficult, if not impossible, to sustain a Career Academy high school. Our community leaders are embedded, they are critical, and we do listen to them. So all these different support pieces that you see on this slide, they are critical and they have meaning not only at the beginning of implementing a Career Academy, but in also sustaining one. Community partnership, we have developed a Academy Business Advisory Board, and we have business partners that represent each one of our 3 academies. And our Acme Academy, we have business partners who are from our Baxter Lab, which is one of our big community partners from the very beginning. And we also have 2 other manufacturing and small business partners. But one of the key pieces, as if you look at all 3 of these academies, we do have school board members that are also part of our Business Advisory Board. In our CAB Academy, we have Wells Fargo, we have banking, we have a radio station, and we also have ASU Mountain Home, which is our local community college, and again, a board member. In our Health and Human Services Academy, we have the hospital involved, we have the Sheriff's Department, we have Montessori preschool owner, and we also have a school board member. So as you look at the configuration of our Business Advisory Board, you'll see that these business partners are invested in our school. They We get together quarterly. Initially, we started out just meeting twice a year, and then by their request, we started meeting quarterly. And we set the agenda with our business advisory board, and they are not as much of a financial help, but they are the piece that helps us understand what the business world needs. They explain to us what it is that our students need to be engaged in, not only in integrated projects, but just within their classrooms. How do you bring real-world application into a Career Academy program, and how do you follow through? A lot of times you'll have great ideas, but to put them into action and to see the end result is what this business advisory board helps us do. So it's a true partnership within the community. And as we go through these slides, you'll see that the community partnerships really, they do intertwine. There isn't one more critical piece to community partnership than another. They all play a very important role, and each piece to the community partnership is critical in sustainability. Integrated projects, again, with our community support and input, and them looking and seeing and giving us the guidelines to what the future of community jobs and where our city of Mountain Home, what direction it's taking, these integrated projects would not be successful. These are, as the slide that you're looking at, these are a list of places that our teachers have gone, our students have gone, and how we've developed integrated projects to give our students the real-world application. An example for one of these, you see the high school, the HHS Walkathon. This is something that HHS, our Health and Human Services Academy, decided they wanted to do to give back to our local hospital, because our hospital supports their academy so much with our internships, teacher externships, and our students finally getting employment in a part of their lives that it means something. I mentioned passion at the very beginning. This is an example of students giving back with a true passion and interest of what their post-secondary lives are going to be. So this year, they're going to go on David's Trail, which is also a trail that was developed with a business partner, and they're going to do a zombie walk, and the kids get donations, and they give back to the hospital foundation to show that we do appreciate everything that they do for our school and our students. Our internship numbers continue to grow, and part of that reason is, as you see with our business advisory board, you can see with our integrated projects. Ms. Brown had mentioned our mentoring program at the beginning in part one, which is also a huge community piece. This all, again, comes together. We go to our business partners in our community. We have a application process that our seniors go through through their academic advisory program in the spring of their junior year. They are interviewed. They have to fill out an application, and we look at their program of study based on interest that they have shown in a career focus. And with the students, sometimes they get into, I am really struggling with 2 different careers, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. So we really spend a lot of time interviewing the kids and placing them in an internship. And our philosophy here at our Career Academy High School is that if a student figures out what they don't want to do, that is a valuable piece of the information for the student, and also the parents on a financial aspect so the students don't choose a career, spend many dollars on this career, and then find out, you know what, I really don't want to do this. So our Senior Academy internship program offers students the real world application and what do I want to do, what do I want to study, what do I like, what do I dislike, and then move forward with a post-secondary plan. Our business partners are very easy to work with. They offer our students so many opportunities, and they also offer them, on occasion, post-secondary work. So many of our internships have turned into employment for our students. And with the support from our community, we are in a rural setting, so we don't have as many businesses and opportunities for students in Mountain Home, Arkansas, as you would in a urban setting. So these business partnerships are critical, and our students know that when we train them. In addition, we have teacher externships, and this practice is one of the 3 practices that we took. It's the best practice from the Ford Foundation. And Sandy Middlestat is the lady who wrote the Career Academy toolkit, and she is one of our mentors who have come to our high school several times for professional development for our teachers. And this Ford best practice offers a plan and a script for our teachers to go out to a business and say what the goal is to go in, ask questions, think about while you're at this business, what can I take back to my classroom to offer real-world application, which many times this will turn into a integration with teachers. But one of the most or more exciting things I think that I've personally seen is when a teacher hears, all right, you're going on a teacher externship. This is what our goal is. This is what we'd like for you to look for, and not really understanding it. And then when they go experience it and they get to see this business internally, they figure out, oh, so when I am teaching math, I am teaching real-world application skills, and this is what I can do for my students. There's a reflection piece that goes along with the teacher externships that teachers turn in, and we have found that this is one of the more beneficial professional developments, and so we try very hard to include it every year at the beginning when teachers come back. This is one of the main focuses for their PD. And in addition, the academies discuss this the spring before, and they come up with businesses that they would like to go see. This past August, our HHS Academy went to the fire department, which is supporting their integrated project with an outbreak. So this is a huge integration that they do, and we offer support for the teachers to get to introduce their integrated projects with an academy kickoff day, and then they, at the end of the school year, they show the celebrations of their integrations, and this year the fire department is going to be included on that celebration day. That's very exciting. Our CAB Academy went to Southern Tag and Label, and they also went to Gaston's, which is a very famous resort locally here, to tag into the hospitality pieces and also the lodging piece of their academy. And then Acme went to Bull Shoals Dam to focus more on the computer engineering and some of the engineering pieces in their academy. So these teacher externships, not only do they serve teachers, but more importantly, they serve the students with the real-world application. Our Chamber of Commerce came into play as a community piece most recently in the last 3 years as we started developing more of the outreach to our community to help sustain our program, we invited the chamber to come in, and we hosted and we offered a lunch for the chamber to tell the chamber our story. What we had noticed was that on their website that there was a very, very small piece about our school, and we had been featured on CNBC, and it didn't make sense to us when people are looking to come to our community and to involve the Chamber of Commerce. We were just really felt like we wanted to build that partnership and for them to have a better understanding of what a career academy is. Sometimes you notice that nationally people have a better understanding of what you're doing than locally. And so this was a huge piece for us. We developed that partnership, and now our chamber offers to do VIP tours on our campus where we're trying to involve our retired community, which is huge here, our bankers, our hospital, just different organizations in our community for these tours. And they also have partnered with our East program here, which is the Environmental and Spatial Technology class that gives our East students project ideas and support. And we are also, in working with our chamber, have improved the website so that when different people and organizations want to learn about our schools, that there is something on the website. So this partnership has turned out to be beneficial, not just for us, but for our community and our chamber. And we are continuing to enrich that. As we have gone through this process, and I had spoken on behalf of the state support, this is just an example of how many schools across the state of Arkansas have come to Mountain Home High School Career Academy campus for mentoring and guidance in implementing a Career Academy High School. In addition to that, we also are featured in many of the conferences that the state is offering. And from what we understand, this initiative in the state of Arkansas is going strong. Visiting schools and conference presentations nationwide. When we had visited about the national support, Ms. Brown did that part one of the webinar, and I have touched on it in this segment. We are more and more, as we sustain, I think, in a rural setting that is unique. Most career academies are featured in an urban setting. And not only that, but the fact that we have sustained for 14 years is the news is getting out, again, from CNBC featuring us, also from attending and being featured at NCAC in their national conferences. And so this map is a demonstration of some of the schools and states that have visited us on the national spectrum. And we have some that we need to add, but that is an ongoing experience that we are enjoying very much as we share our story.
Excellent. Thank you, Bridget. So I'm going to ask a couple of clarification questions for you, Bridget. Thank you for that really thoughtful overview. You talked about the importance of the teacher externships. And I wanted to ask a little bit more. How long do those externships last in duration, and what time of year do they typically happen?
Our teacher externships generally, depending on how much professional development time that we're offered each year as it changes, but typically they last one full school day to one half of a school day, depending on the year and on the focus. And typically we do it in August and that is when teachers are coming back, when we offer the teachers professional development. We really try to focus on our new faculty, and we felt like this was one of the best ways to introduce them to the community and also on an integration concept.
Great. And do they typically go out one teacher per business site, or do they go out in teams or pairs?
We've done both, but what Ms. Brown and I have found out that it is better to keep them in teams
Mm-hmm.
and a career focus for that year, and we try to get them to look at what their projects are for the school year and their themes, and then try to match that with their teacher externship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And then you made a passing reference to the idea that there are a good number of retired individuals in your community, and that's certainly going to be a resource that will be growing in coming years. So what have you learned so far in terms of innovative ways or effective ways to get retired individuals volunteering and participating in your academy program?
Well, one of the ways that we've included our retirement community is our mentoring program. We have that's a very strong community piece, and we have 54 academic advisory classrooms, and in a rural setting, that doesn't sound like that would be hard to do, to find one or two mentors per AAP class that will contribute for 3 consecutive years out of their busy days. But in a rural setting, sometimes that gets a little harder. So our retirement community has been wonderful in supporting our program through mentoring. Also, with our chamber partnership and inviting the Arkansas teacher retirement to come in and have a luncheon with Ms. Brown and I. We offer them a student panel, so we try to educate our retirement community through tours and luncheons and student panels, and we take our kids sometimes to different organizational meetings, and we just try to get ourselves out there in the community and invite them in.
I see. Great. You mentioned near the beginning about the role of the Academy Advisory Board and the members that are kind of designated for each of those individual academies. Does that board sit as one board or as 3 individual boards?
Well, what our format looks like, we invite them to come. We honor an hour time frame, so we have to make the most out of that hour. So what we generally do is we start as 3. Our theme here is 3 academies, 1 school. So we start out as 1, and then we normally update the Business Advisory Board as a whole, and then we divide in the same room, and they work with their academy leaders on project integrations or any of the needs. We set a short-term goal that carries over for 9 weeks. Then we normally report on if we've met that goal, and then we have a year-long goal as a Business Advisory Board.
So you may have just given me the answer, but what are some characteristics that you think keep those Business Advisory Board members really engaged in the work of the Career Academy?
I think when we set the goals, whether they're short-term or long-term, I believe our board feels like we listen to them and they are embedded. They aren't just, giving an opinion. They're actually integrated. They're embedded in the process, and I think they feel like they're part of this Career Academy High School. Mm-hmm. And I think it's, at the end of the day, it's about relationships.
Right. Okay, good. And then a final question I wanted to ask would be, over the long term, there's a lot of turbulence in our economy. There's changes that are happening. So as you're thinking about your programs and how to position them, do you interact with the local workforce system or the local economic development authority, uh, and how do, or even the local community college or technical college, and how do they give input to your programs and to changes perhaps that you might want to make in your programs?
Well, our business advisory board, we currently have one of them is a vice chancellor of our community college. So she is an integrate, she listens. She's part of the process currently. And then also we have the from the chamber, the economic chamber board member is part of this too. So what we try to do is we try to incorporate on our business advisory board those key elements to help us develop, our plan for our career academy. I wouldn't call it a business plan, but in essence, that's what it is. Because as we go through this process in our educational reform, if we're going to partner with business, sometimes we have to reform and start thinking in a business sense as well. So I think keeping those business partners on your board and letting them know what your needs are, they help give us direction.
Very good. Thank you for joining us today for the discussion of community integration in the Mountain Home High School Career Academies. You'll see everyone's contact information on this slide. And we encourage you to look for Parts 3, a conversation with students, and Parts 4, a conversation with teachers of this series coming soon. Thank you.